What is up, investors? Jason here. So the overall crypto market is currently in the red, and the crypto fear and greed index has us sitting over in, well, in fear at this moment. But it's better that we're not in extreme fear, which we were last week. But at the same time, there is a bit of scarcity that is affecting the entire market, as we can see that the crypto market does have a lot of red at this moment. So a lot of things that are currently going on affecting the market. So we're going to talk about this. Just do a bit of a news update, go into some details about some things that are affecting the market a bit. So as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash, destroy, annihilate, or gently press that like button. Helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. I spread the videos so more people might find it interesting, and subscribe if you have not already. Now let's get to it, everybody. Now, looking over at Bitcoin, currently we're holding at around $47,000, which is a very important support to hold at. Now, we did see it drop a little bit below $46,000, but it is holding very strong at this support, which is a very crucial support for Bitcoin. Now, if we look at the past history, like on October 1st, when we saw a big rally that started at that time, that really took off when we had broke through the price of $47,000, and Bitcoin continued to go up from there. Now, if we see that we drop below that $47,000 price, then it can get a lot more bearish. So very key price to be paying attention to. $47,000 is a very key price to hold on to right there. So we need that support at 47, and hopefully that's where it stays. Now, looking over at what's going on with Ethereum. Now, currently, Ethereum is holding on to a support of $3,800. Now, hopefully it's able to hold around this price and even go up more, of course, ideally, but this $3,800 price is a very important one because we've seen it before in the past. If it is to break through too much and not able to hold on to that support, then we can easily see it possibly drop down below to $3,400, which we've seen it happen before in the past. That if Ethereum doesn't hold on to $3,800, it will fall below the $3,600 and then take us down to $3,400, and that $3,600 is a very important resistance that would need to get over again, and hopefully that is not the case. Hopefully we're going to hold at $3,800. Now, we're also seeing pretty big drops with Cardano, which is trading sideways at the moment. We're also seeing these big drops with Solana and Polkadot and everybody else down the board. Now, something that is worth mentioning and pointing out here, that back in April, when we had seen Bitcoin reach its all-time high, at that time, Bitcoin's hash rate was at an all-time high. And then what had happened after that was we had seen the price of Bitcoin drop off and the hash rate get a lot easier. If you're not familiar with what the hash rate is, that is the computing power that it takes to actually mine Bitcoin. So at the moment, the hash rate is very high for Bitcoin. It's very hard to do for these blockchain miners out there. Companies that we also talk about a bit on this channel, like Marathon Digital, Riot Blockchain, Hive Blockchain, Hut 8 Mining, etc. They're having to do a lot more work to be able to mine more Bitcoin. So when we do see that, there is a bit of a trend that does happen, and that is that the price of Bitcoin does drop off a bit, which was also what had led into a lot of that China FUD that we had with the amount of energy that it takes to produce to mine Bitcoin. So that's kind of the same thing that's going on at this moment. We have Bitcoin's hash rate at an all-time high. We're seeing the price of Bitcoin dropping. You know, these companies that are doing the mining, they have to spend a lot of money to keep up with these hash rates. It's very complicated for them. So when we do see things get a bit more bearish with Bitcoin, what that usually does lead into is the hash rate to become easier. Some things to keep in mind there, which could be one of the things that currently is going on. And of course, if we do see things get a bit more bearish with Bitcoin, then we're going to also see the same thing happen with everybody else. That's just how things pretty much work. Now, the hash rate of Bitcoin reaching an all-time high is not necessarily the reason why we're seeing Bitcoin drop, and we've been seeing that since November, but that's just an example. Now, we are definitely seeing, though, as we look at the blockchain miners, we look at their stocks, then we're seeing that definitely being something that is affecting their business, because a lot of their business is attached to Bitcoin, and they're the ones that are doing a lot of the work to keep it mining. But now let's just look over at some other news with Bitcoin. On-chain data shows that 90% of all Bitcoin to ever exist have now been mined. Bitcoin scarcity is bound to increase as the remaining 10% will be mined in about 119 years. Prices are expected to surge as Bitcoin becomes more scarce and in demand. Bitcoin has been described as the most perfect human-created financial instrument due to its combination of economic incentives and cutting-edge mathematical certainty. One of the most important aspects of Bitcoin's existence is the limited supply of 21 million coins, which ensures that the pioneer digital asset remains deflationary. The issuance of the Bitcoin is programmed into the code of the Bitcoin network. By the set standard, approximately every 10 minutes, new Bitcoins are issued to miners for dedicating their resources to validate new blocks in the transaction on the network. So 119 more years of mining Bitcoin at this last 10%, which only makes up 3 million more Bitcoin. So 18 million Bitcoin have already been mined, the max number 21 million. This is going to get a bit interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the market does react and how the scarcity does impact the price of Bitcoin. Now, I wouldn't be surprised that more than likely, of course, the price does go up, as this is definitely a deflationary asset. And especially since so many institutions and corporations are backing this, as well as countries and other countries might be following here soon. There is a lot to really say about Bitcoin and what this could do to the market now that the scarcity of it is now really starting to take effect. And what could this mean for the miners? What's going to happen with them? And how fast could Bitcoin really change things here now that we are seeing a big shift in this scarcity? And in some other crypto news, Germany's largest savings bank to give 50 million people exposure to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well, starting in 2022. So we now have Germany in on accepting cryptocurrencies as an actual asset where people can invest into and hold it within their bank accounts. It's just a matter of time until we start seeing more and more countries doing this, and hopefully the U.S. does pick up on this. Now, as the United States still does not have a Bitcoin ETF, the world's first Bitcoin ETF in Canada buys another $211.6 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, of course, a lot of fund managers here in the United States are itching to be able to have a Bitcoin ETF. If you do have access to buy on the Canadian market, then that's an idea right there. But to look at this, the overall amount of Bitcoin held by the fund is now equal to a whopping 28,974 Bitcoin, a value at the time of this article worth more than $1.4 billion, compared to the 24,632 it held before December. This Purpose Bitcoin ETF has bought more Bitcoin, while the world's flagship cryptocurrency is trading below $50,000 this month. Very smart move on them. Now, in this last little piece, it's been 11 years since anybody has heard from the mysterious founder or creator of Bitcoin, or the creators of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, the most mysterious name in cryptocurrency in general. The last time anybody has heard from him or them was 11 years ago on December 12th, 2010. And at that time, the message was, now this last message that was ever released said there's more work to do, and it was left for early members of the Bitcoin Talk Forum. And previously, before that, after publishing the Bitcoin white paper in October 2008, Satoshi communicated regularly with growing community for the next 2 years, explaining the different concepts of Bitcoin's ecosystem. So since then, no one's heard anything from Satoshi Nakamoto, if it's one person or multiple people involved. And that's just been this mystery for the past 11 years. Now, anyways, I just want to make this video just to go over some news. If you guys like this style, please let me know that you want me to continue doing updates like this as well. I will keep incorporating it into my channel. So with that being said, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New videos coming on my channel all the time. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.